According to statistics from the Foreign Investment Agency, Ministry of Planning and Investment, in the first 8 months of 2015, total newly registered and additional FDI in Vietnam reached over $13 billion. The foreign investors have invested in 17 sectors. In particular, the processing and manufacturing industries are getting more attention, with total newly registered and additional FDI of $10.35 billion, accounting for 77.7% of total registered FDI in Vietnam. According to reports from the Ministry of Industry and Trade, the index of industrial production in the first 6 months increased by 9.6% compared to the same period in 2014. Growth of industrial added value in the first 6 months increased by 9.53% over the same period last year, including the processing industry. Manufacturing grew by 9.95%. More and more foreign companies are looking at Vietnam as an export production base. Then they have to improve value chain by upgrading the existing production capabilities with advanced manufacturing technology.
Greetings to all the viewers of Sharing Vietnam. As you all know, Vietnam has become an attractive destination for foreign investors in various fields, especially in the industry of manufacturing and processing. Today we have the honor of talking to Mr. Marco Vader, Chief Representative of the German Industry and Commerce in Vietnam, to understand more about it. Hello, Mr. Vader. Thank you for joining us today on Sharing Vietnam. As a close partners of various Vietnamese enterprises, how do you evaluate Vietnam's industry of manufacturing and processing?
In our opinion, Vietnamese industry of manufacturing is powerful, but concerning to the future, not powerful enough yet. I think there is still a big potential and a few things to improve for the future.
So tell me about what are the difficulties in developing this industry in Vietnam?
Yeah, I think there are a few things. For example, the infrastructure and also the power infrastructure, that we have still some power cuts, and this is very difficult to have a really modern production, and a lot of Vietnamese companies are still equipped with sometimes old equipment, so it's not the highest level, not the updated level of equipment. And last but not least, I think the education of the people, especially to have good vocational training. You need modern equipment, but you need also people who are able to handle and to manage with this modern equipment.
So what are some of the difficulties for German enterprises in the beginning of investing in Vietnam in the industry?
I think I would talk about challenges and not difficulties, okay? Because I think all these challenges you can manage very well also here in Vietnam. The companies, they have to know this before, but afterwards you can really manage that. First of all, power cuts. This is really a problem. Power cuts are sometimes pre-announced, sometimes non-announced, and sometimes also wrong announced. And I think this should be very fast to improve. So power cuts, infrastructure, of course. Then we have the challenge to have a suitable supply chain, to invest in Vietnam, and last but not least, the vocational training system.
So have GIC ever targeted at this industry, and how has it been implemented in the last several years?
Yes, of course. For example, we get a lot of business delegations coming from Germany. More than 95% of all German companies are small and medium companies. And they, of course, are focused and looking for cooperation opportunities with Vietnamese companies. And very often in their very special segment, they have a very improved level of their products and services. And of course, to bring German equipment and also this German potential of cooperation to Vietnam and to cooperate with Vietnamese companies, this is, I think, our daily business. So we had a lot of business delegations We organize a lot of conferences, how to transfer know-how and what are the real possibilities with all advantages and all disadvantages for this common cooperations. I think we reached already a very nice level, and you can recognize this in our trade balance, and this is really increasing impressively for the last year, and we have already good cooperations, but I think there is still a potential for the future.
This is the processing plant of the company RK Marbor Vietnam of the Indian RK Marbor Group. Starting its operations in 2006 in Dien Bai and building processing plants in 2010, RK has been running well in Vietnam and wanted to expand production.
We here in RK Marble have very big production line. We are on an average on a day we are cutting around 6 to 7 blocks every day. So it's around 2 containers or 3 containers per day we cut for export purpose. So you can see the factory here. It's a very big factory and a huge stockyard.
Like this Indian company, many other investors also appreciate Vietnam's production industry. According to statistics from the Ministry of Industry and Trade, there are 48 countries and territories investing their projects in Vietnam. South Korea tops the list with total newly registered and additional capital of $1.52 billion, accounting for 27.7% of total investment capital in Vietnam. South Korea is followed by several countries from Europe and Asia, including the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, and Singapore.
Our headquarters, its volume is very increased and is turning into its big side. So we need is more. Our is the subcontract in Vietnam.
We work very closely with our friends from Germany. We combine our synergies, and we think that there is a very, very huge market available here in Vietnam. It's my 3rd time I have been here, and every time I see a considerable progress going on, and we are here together with our German colleagues to offer the latest stage of technology to bring Vietnam further forward.
According to the latest report, Where in the World Manufacturing Index 2015 by Cushman and Wakefield, Vietnam continues to develop and ranks first amongst the emerging countries in processing industry around the world. Vietnam tops the list of the development index in the manufacturing sector of the emerging countries.
Từ 3-4 cái yếu tố về cơ sở hạ tầng, về chính sách, về luật định, thì những cái việc mà đầu tư, thu hút đầu tư về sản xuất như vậy vẫn có thể thu hút được các nhà đầu tư vào Việt Nam. Cái sức trẻ và cái nguồn nhân lực khá là tốt. Hiện nay thì các tỉnh thành của Việt Nam cũng đang mở ra tất cả những cái trường dạy nghề để làm sao để có thể cũng cung cấp được những cái kỹ năng, cũng đào tạo được những cái nguồn nhân lực tốt.
According to the report of Cushman and Wakefield with the title of Where in the World Manufacturing Index 2015, Vietnam ranked first amongst the emerging countries in processing industry around the world. What do you think about this?
I think this report is very interesting, and it's also similar with our opinion. I think this report is more focused to the future and focused on this high potential for the future of this industry in Vietnam. This report say about the potential, and now it's up to Vietnam, to Vietnamese companies, to Vietnamese government, really to lift this potential and to make it true.
So according to Vietnam's Ministry of Industry and Trade, the index of industrial production in the first 7 months has increased 9.9% compared to the same quarter last year. This is an impressive growth, and can you give some more reasons for this?
Vietnamese companies they have to be and to start to be competitive, yeah, and I think it's urgent, needed that they start with this restructuring process, yeah, with to invest in modern equipment, to restructure the internal structures, also the management culture, and really to start to be competitive for this future. This industry, yeah, is more developing now. And this is one reason, and I think the second one, it's a recognition that, for example, in the agricultural sector, yeah, Vietnam has a lot of superlatives from the last year. So the biggest rice exporter worldwide, number 2 in coffee exports. This is nice, but now it's time to have the next step of value added, and really to start to process all the goods also in Vietnam, to create the next level, to create more workforce, and maybe also to create a brand made in Vietnam.
So what are the plans of GIC as well as other German enterprises in involving in the processing industry in Vietnam?
Yeah, I think it's still our target to create as such and much possibilities for cooperation between German and Vietnamese companies. So it's our character that we are working bilateral. It's not our intention only to promote German business in Vietnam. We promote also Vietnamese business going to Germany. And already this year we had 2 delegations of Vietnamese companies to Germany and to get in touch with German companies in Germany. So this is still what we believe, that we have basically a very good economical conditions and relationships between our both countries, but there is still a great potential also for the future. And it's also our hope that we will get an additional possibility through this free trade agreement between European Union and Vietnam. And I think Germany is really a suitable partner, and German companies are really keen to create business in ASEAN, and especially here starting in Vietnam.
So what are your suggestions for Vietnamese government to facilitate the investment and cooperation process in this industry?
I think, first of all, to create this awareness that every Vietnamese company, yeah, they have to be prepared and competitive for the future. So starting from next year, we will see this ASEAN Economic Community. That means also the market, the Vietnamese market, will be absolutely open for companies from Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, and so on and so on. So Vietnamese companies has to be aware about that and hopefully prepared in time. And if the Vietnamese government has the possibility to promote them with to buy modern equipment, to educate the people, and to bring everything at the modern or to the latest international standard. I think this is not the case yet everywhere in Vietnam, but this will be necessary for the future.
Thank you for joining us today on Sharing Vietnam, and good luck on all of your future projects. Sharing Vietnam is coming to an end. Thank you for watching, and see you again.